when it comes to, alright, so I was thinking like, it's interesting that I started off with, like most people, I know that the whole point of it, of like most of the things, like, most of the things that we do, some of us, when it comes to wanting to heal ourselves, because I'm a big advocate on like promoting more of the spiritual parts of life, and what, what I've noticed, what's come to me now is more like, you ever seen that cartoon show Yu Yu Hakusho, to where, you know, the dude's got like the spirit gun, you know, do like that. So it's like, I've come from doing regular yoga like everybody else, right? Or really more like everybody else, just like, you know, doing some stretches, you know, just like doing some of that and whatever. And that's kind of where I started. And as I progressed through this thing with learning my breath and what it means to connect it to my mental, and what that means to connect it to my body, and how to transfer certain things, I've come to this new thing from yoga, stretching, you know, holding and doing certain poses, and then also like seeing how to separate the difference between a hardcore yoga session and um, a nice relaxing stretching yoga session, and, you know, or just a more still, or maybe a more flowy, you know, because I would always think that to maximize everything that I'm doing, that I have to give it my all. And like I've said, that I can give, you know, credit where credit is due. It's definitely the softest touch, just the slightest touch. You know what I mean? Um, it's crazy. It's pretty cool though. I love it. But like going from this intense mindset into a more chilled approach. Cause like yoga is supposed to be like, you know, or, you know, what's the goal of like life, is to be at the best of your wellness, you know, mainly is to really have a good grip on your health. And I wanted to get on too, because I noticed that when it comes to people that fight, that I go back to Daniel Cormier, because I noticed that, you know, people that fight, of course, take a lot of shots to the face. So of course they take a lot of shots to the face, period, to the head, but to the nose, very specifically. We take a lot of shots to the jaw and a lot of shots to the nose, and I find that very interesting. I like, I, the thought of it comes up quite a bit, because it's like, he said that he was at this one conference he was at. He was talking about how he sneezed, and when he sneezed, he blew his back out, and like immediately when I heard it, I was like, my brain started clicking because I'm like, well, because I don't know, it's just weird to me that even though, life is like right in front of us, we kind of dismiss it because we feel like it's like something we can't take care of. And I found that interesting that, you hear something like that and a person says something like that and then just kind of dismisses everything that they said, you know. So it's like, you know, but for him to say that he sneezed and threw his back out, my mind instantly went like, my mind went, well, if your back went out because you sneezed, that means that a lot of the issues that you're facing is about right here. And I realized also when I was in massage school is where this all stemmed from. Is where I decided to get that education in on really like all that stuff. When I started to realize what it meant to massage a person, and I immediately realized that I can take that and instantly implement it on myself. It was, it was an interesting click because it's like, okay, yoga. You do the move, you do the position, you do this, that, and the third, and you're done. You sweat, you hate, on your future kids. You know what I'm saying? You feel like slapping your grandma up because it's intense when you do a full, especially an hour and a half long. You know what I'm saying? You're doing full on session. It gets serious no matter how little of work. If you go the full thing and you really try your best through it, you'll feel it. And so yoga, and it's like, okay, yoga, but it's like yoga's not doing it. And I'm not saying yoga's not doing this. I think I'm not doing yoga properly enough. I'm not applying myself well enough, you know, because there's no way that a person does years. I could say up to the point to where I really started, so I would say a little over half a decade of, because I've been doing this whole exercise, getting myself in shape, learning about the body and all that, what that means to me and my emotions and trying to connect and all that, whatever stuff. But to get to this point now where I go, there's not enough being done, even though I'm doing everything I can. In my head, I have this image of being this super Gumby, bendy, natural, like easy flow guy. And I realize when I get to massage school that I'm stiff as fuck. You know what I mean? And so it threw me for a loop a good bit. Because I'm like, I'm doing all this. I'm and you know what I mean? And I'm making waves. I'm doing all this rope, runner pose, pigeon pose. What the fuck is this pose? This hurts pose. I want to go home pose. And I'm still in a lot of pain. I ask questions, people can't give me answers. So it's like, but it's been a fun journey to go, okay, well, now I can figure it out for myself. So now, like I say, I'm at this point to where energy transfer is now the new thing that I'm working through, because I've gotten most of the bigger points of my body to relax, unwind, detach, whatever you wanna break it down as. And now the details come in, and it's not as easy. I mean, I can still breathe through it and find it, but I've also noticed when I have a good understanding of what energy transfer means, you know, like the transfer of what goes from a connection. Because I've already, talked about, like, you're made up of what this, what you've made through this mentality. So why is it that because it's almost like this just simple awareness, just like you get this old person back in the day, they're about 60, 70 today or something like that, and they got the hunch and the hump and all that stuff. And, they don't have the awarenesses now. As simple as an occupational therapist, or something as simple as a physical therapist, to where they can get your body somewhat more functional than before, right? It's the same thing as that physical therapist also has no idea that they can telepathically move their muscles and whatever else. I'm pretty sure, which is my point, is if I can start to learn, I got, okay, well, I can move my muscles. Well, now I can, move individual parts, strands of my muscles. Now I'm learning that it's because I've already got the energy, but I'm really understanding that I connect what I've already is connected, of course, is what I'm trying to, through that, and transfer it, connect it. Because I know that this physical thing is no different than this mental thing. Because I mentally created this. So I am able to mentally be able to control through my mind all of this. And so if I know that I am also this created this energy, that I can manipulate this energy. And so for me to not be able to, that's what I'm trying to say. I know for a fact, just like grandma has no clue that she can, like, work herself. She can go to physical therapy and learn what they know and do some push-ups and things, whatever. And she can get her body relatively. But when you start to get down to, okay, I now don't really have all those issues. Now I'm only working the details of what to move different now. Like I said, now it's not necessarily because I got to do the breath. I got to do the mental to connect it, to move it. I got to know that that's where it is and that's what I have to do with it. But now it's not, it's almost just like a mental shock to know, okay, I need to light up that part of my body. I need to know that, okay, I may not be able to necessarily feel it, but I need to imagine that I need to light it up. It's cold, it's whatever, it's not there. Well, how can I spark it? You know what I'm saying? How can I get that? Because I know you know what I'm saying? Things are already naturally doing what the body does. You can't break away from what your body naturally wants to do every single day. create, break down, build up, move around, transfer, whatever. So if it's already doing that, now why not you not say, hey, as the captain of it all, and say, okay, y'all doing all that, well, do this now. Break this down. Do this. I want to start, like I said, get to the point to where I can massage my muscles. I mean, my intestines. And like I said, shock, move, and energy, and transfer that energy to be able to move it through. Instead of just trying to think muscle, I can just split through all of it if I can think, electric. Not electric, just that energy. That's whatever that thing is. You know how you can just, I don't know how to explain it. Just people, because I tried to explain this one time when I was in the military, to where it's like, if you want to, let's say I'm looking at my hand, right, and I tell it to move. I want it to do something, and I give it all the energy on whatever I want it to do. And I know if I focus on it real hard and say, hey, move this way, do like this, and I don't, and I constantly just think about trying to do it, I notice that I will get this, my hand, like it breaks connection almost, because it's like it gets irritated. It's like, you want me to do it, but you're not doing it. You want me to do it, but you're not doing it. You want me to do it, but you're not doing it. Why aren't you? It just creates a frustration, you know. And so if I'm not feeling that, but I know that my body's getting frustrated, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is, what I'm saying? Like, this is something separate, you know. I'm not bad, but I know it's getting heated. It ain't happy that it can't do what I'm doing in my head. Why it doesn't? It's like, okay, my turn, and then I don't. you know, it gets frustrated. You get hot. It's like, or this gets hot or whatever. So yeah, I take that and I place it. Like I said, I've learned that a big part to releasing my hips is scrubbing my knees. So I'm into massage and scrub out my knees. So if I'm doing that, even if I'm sitting in this, I'm just cross-legged, I can take okay, so I can take, like, let's say I got some knee pain right about wherever it is. I take that focus, even if I need to touch it, find it, to help find it, to feel it, to go, okay, this is the spot, okay, this is numb, but if I pay attention to that numb spot, I can awaken that, I can move that, it does something if I pay attention to that point of where it is. You know what I mean? So if I can take that and know where that is, get that tingle, that feeling, that sensation, that wave to go down into my leg. So I start from the knee, go down the thigh into my hip. If I can feel that, I can now feel, and because I'm I take that and, like, I'll clench it, I'll grasp, some wherever I need to, whatever that point is, from my knee to my hip, I'll hold on and I'll mentally think about that wave, push that through, and find where I can point that energy next, direct that through my muscle, then bring it back. If I do whatever I need to do and I find those points, let's say it needs to go to all that needs to go to my back and my hip, because for me it's the sciatic on this side, because I still do have a lot of pain, like, within my knee and in my back. I can break, untwist, unwind, whatever you want to, and it'll release itself. I use a breath. I know it's, when I smoke, I inhale. I use that. A lot of times I can even take the smoke, find where I can't. So let's say I take a hit, right? Simple. Let's say I can't do that here. Now I know that all this is congested, because it is, as an example. Now all this is very much locked in. This side is a little more loose. This not so much. This I can really go. This one kind of, and then I gotta because I can feel it right here too, right? So if I feel that pull, I hold on to that muscle. I work that. Like I said, I can either hold on to it like I'm holding on, like I do like this, or I can just think about it and move that muscle. Or I can, and I'm using this too. I can do that, and both, and I can think about it, and I can. Oh, I used to have a lot of tennis elbow, whatever, right up in the crook, right up in. So let's say I think about right here, pull that. Okay, here. Now I know here. Okay, this is all connected. It's tight here, but where's it really tight? About right there, right? So I know all that. So now that I know the direction, I can shoot that. It's like once I know what, because either I do it and like I move something and I know what it looks like, or if I see it, somebody says, "Hey, like I watched this one video of like your pelvic floor. At least this one, I know that it like the bottom kind of fans out, but in the middle there's like this like thing that does like this." So now that because I didn't really know that, now that I have that awareness, I can take where I know what that muscle is, which helps a lot too. Now I can start to once again mental, like, because let's say I don't have a good strength yet to move it. That's where the mental part comes in. That's where the shock comes in. That's where the thinking about, like, how am I gonna, I can take it like the mentally I'm doing like this, right? I'm pushing that muscle up. I can collapse, I can compress, I can expand if I need to. I'm not just, I don't explain because I don't even know how many people can actually do it, but I'm like literally thinking that I'm doing like this, so I do, you know, like I try to make myself wider, and I don't know if you hear it, but it all up in like the middle is finally releasing too. So it's like I incorporate the jaw. It's all, I like I said, I used to have to, and I still do massage a lot and work it, and I press. That's a good one. And press like that, and like try to break your hand. You like a clench, and I find it. And what I mean by find it is tough because it's like, I'll give it to you the easiest way I can is what I'll say. Um, well, I kind of explained it, so it's pretty much I'll look for whatever muscles on the inside. Like I said, I may not be aware enough. I'll try to make up in my head what it looks, where it might be, and I'll find it, and I'll work that, and I'll, like I said, transfer both of them to whatever, or expand it out however I need to, things like that. I mean, this is already a lot. It's already 26. I wanted to get down pretty much because it's like I said, this all of this stuff that I'm explaining just doesn't. it doesn't seem like it makes sense or if it's real or whatever, but I can't, I'm gonna keep teaching it. It's weird because it's like I think I need a lot more people to like do it for me to really like see it myself, really. But am going through it, so it's like I'm literally doing it as, of course, literally as I'm explaining it right now, I'm doing it and showing you. So it's like in real time, it's a fascinating thing. It's pretty cool. But you have full control of your own body. Real shit. Um, yeah. Like the feet are huge too, because and then the inside with that huge band, that thick band, is huge to try to break it down. It's because the hips, the feet, your face, jaw, all up in here, your neck, of course, but just really like the sternocleidomastoid, all up in here in your jaw. I noticed that. And I learned because it's about like the fourth light, fourth ray, right? So it's like I'm not gonna go into detail of the whole thing, but I looked it up for myself, and it's like he talks about how you have this, how your neck is right like that, and it comes out like that, and then because all that like fans, right? Learning about it's like the triangle of God or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what he called it. I don't know. But me understanding that part was huge because he talks about like that and that little piece at the base of the back of your neck, of the occipital right here. All of that stuff right here. That is like, cause I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? This piece, all of this is connected to down there. You know what I'm saying? So find that, because if you can realize that, like I said, all of the back of that right there is connected to like most of the stuff in the back where your lower back pain is. Start. I'm telling you, there's so many little things, but you make those twists and turns and do all that. Find it, and just kind of I realized just kind of like live, kind of do whatever you see, like facial expressions down to like sports, how people move and things. And I mean, there's no specific thing. If you find somebody doing something, explore why they move that way. Try it out. Incorporate your breath in every single movement you do. And I'm not saying you have to do this. Live your life. Do what you want to do. But I'm just saying, for me, that I've noticed that, if I take my time and breathe through most of the things that I do, it helps. I've come to that point because I'm so fascinated by it, and it's kind of hard not to do much of anything else. When it comes to like at least being focused, because I can live and still do whatever, but to just be solely focused on that most of the time is just because I'm so interested in it. It's so cool. But I say, because I learned, just because I've done a lot of sports and things like that, just trying to figure out new movements and not being afraid of like branching out and being something different, doing something different, things like that. Do whatever. I noticed, like I said, facial expressions are something huge, because, like I said, your face will, eventually be stuck like you are. On the inside, you may be able to bounce back on the superficial parts, but when it comes down to the deep parts of you, how you are, who you are, and the way you are, it definitely comes out through what you become. Um, Best believe you will be that. So take the time to realize who and what you are. And if, because like I said, from when you take the time to know that what you think and how you process life will surely put you in a circumstance to where you put yourself in the place you are today. Your body will morph into whatever. So be careful, because it's like people wonder why like their back hurts and they have these pinched nerves and then life is like this and they can't figure out, And it's like your mood dictates how you look, the way you are, how you look like this all day and you can't pick your neck up and you don't know why you feel like you do. You wonder why you're depressed all the time. Or, you do like that, or, whatever. Or you just, you lay a certain way. You don't know why you do that, You just don't even, it doesn't register that you lay like that all the time. And you wonder why your side of your neck hurt, or your, hip hurt, or your foot hurt all the time. It's like you got to realize that that's, you're putting yourself into these positions and you're not being mindful of, what you're doing. Like I try to tell the kids, it's the same thing. It's like when you get upset and you're not mindful of, you doing one of them, you mad all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, lighten up, man. Or even if you miss the smiley all the time, I've noticed it's something. Oh man, it pulls a lot of muscles and works. Like I don't think people realize that like the face is one of the most like overused muscles. Like we eat, we talk, we grind, we chew, we hold, we grit. I mean, I noticed too that I have, instead of like holding my emotions in my face, I noticed that I can try to express it in other areas of my body. Like I don't like have to smile to be happy. Like I can smile in my spine. I can smile in my lower back. I can smile in my chest. Whatever. I can have whatever emotions in those places and express it like I would. You know, all that. But express it. That also releases a lot. Because it really does all come full circle for me when I think about it. Because it's like we hold a lot of childhood trauma within ourselves too, whether through past lives, whether through a lot of whatever we go through this one.